All right, I think people are beginning to trickle in. So, welcome everybody to our emerging HR tech demo with James for Candidly. Just to quickly start off, where are you all calling from? You can type it in the chat so you can familiarize yourself with the interface. And there's even a Q&A function to the right of the chat. If you have any questions, you can also pop it in there as well. So I'll start off first. I'm from Toronto. And James, where are you calling from?
I'm also from Toronto.
Okay, cool. So that wasn't very exciting. But great, we have some other people popping on as well. We see Alicia is calling from Toronto. Hello, Alicia. Hello, Melissa from Kitchener. So lots of Ontario representation as well. Ooh, Arissa is also from Toronto. Nice to meet you as well. Okay, so James is going to share more about Candidly for the next 10 minutes or so, and then we'll have some time at the end for questions, but feel free to comment along. Okay, and Trisha's from Edmonton. Cool. James, take it away.
Thanks, Adin. Okay, I'm just going to bring up my presentation for everyone. Okay, I'm hoping everybody can see it. So as we said, my name is James. I'm the founder and CEO of Candidly. And today I'm just going to take you a quick squiz through what Candidly does in the short time that we have. And then hopefully you guys got quite a lot of questions around how we do things. So just a quick bit background on me. I came to Canada about almost 3.5 years ago now. One of the things I had an issue with was finding a job in Canada when I first arrived. And a lot of that was due to the feedback I got was lack of Canadian experience. And with my frustration at that point in time, I've been sitting on this idea for Candidly for quite a while. So I decided that I was going to do a startup instead of going back into corporate. And so Candidly, if I can just get it to work. So Candidly is a talent marketplace that objectively matches software developers with roles based solely on their programming skills. And we believe that we're one of the first of our kind. Nobody actually does it like we do. And it's about bringing fairness and equality and diversity into the hiring place, specifically for software developers. So with Candidly, finding developers is simple. First, you have to do as a recruiter or a hiring manager is you describe the developer that you need for the role. You give us the specific details, the specific programming skills that you're looking for. And then what we do is we present your profile, your role to all of the developers in our pool. And those developers will get a job profile, your company profile, and ask them whether they're interested in applying to your job or not. Then what we do is we send you the profiles of the developers that are interested, and you review them at your own pleasure. And one of the things you'll see that badge in the right or the left there is zero bias screening. And with Candidly, we've kind of coined the term for ourselves as zero bias screening, is because we want to remove all the bias from that screening process. So when you get a profile for the first time, you can see in this example, there's no identifications with regards to name, gender, race, anything like that. You'll also see when we talk about experience, we're looking just at the career timeline. We just talk about what the roles that individual has filled, not where they were, which country or anything like that. So your first interaction with Candidly gives you just a understanding of whether this person has the skills to do the role that you're looking for. And then what you can do is you can click on view their resume once you've done that. And if you find a candidate that you like, all you have to do is click connect. And then we notify that developer that you're interested in talking with them about the role. And that's how simple it is for a hiring manager or a recruiter to use Candidly. Now, the question everybody always asks is, well, how do we accurately match developers to recruiting managers or hiring managers? And the way we do it is very unique. So we look at very objective ways to match developers. The first is we ask, do they have the right programming skills for the work, the role that's being required? And we don't just look at the specific skills, we look at what is the level of skills. So you may have JavaScript as a senior, you may have MySQL as an intermediate, and maybe you want to have some WordPress experience, but that can just be junior because they don't need to have that much. And that's the kind of level of detail we go to when we start matching developers with roles. The second is we ask, is this the role that developers are looking for? So one of the biggest things in the market at the moment that we've done through and found continuously through our research is developers don't want to be spammed with every single role that's out in the market. They don't want to be spammed by recruiters time and time again, especially for roles that they don't even suit or not even looking for. So we ask developers to put in their preferences so that we only match them with roles that they are going to consider. For example, if somebody doesn't want to work remote and wants to work in the office, well, we're not going to send them a whole bunch of roles that are 100% remote. It might be dual, office and remote. Some developers may have a salary of saying, I don't want to work for less than $110,000 a year. So we're not going to send them a role that they suit for $50,000 or $60,000 a year. So these are the kind of preferences that we have put in place. And the third one is does their resume and their skills match? So one of the key things from Candidly, what we wanted to do right from the gate is we wanted to give developers an opportunity to reflect the skills and their ability through our platform. So what we did is we created challenges for their course programming skills. Now, we wanted these challenges not to be tests. We wanted these challenges to be able to support them on identifying if they're fit for a role, not disqualifying them from roles. So if they take our challenges, they're only 10 questions. They're all multiple choice. They can take it in their own time. There's no time limit. And if they take questions and they get them wrong, the questions become easier. If they take questions and they get them right, the questions become more difficult because we want to understand what their level of skill is, not whether they're suitable for a particular role. And that helps us better match them with the roles that we think the roles that employers are posting. And what this also does is that we take that information and in the future, we're actually able to feed that back to developers. So we can tell them exactly within JavaScript, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses, this is where you need development. And it gives us an objective comparison between the developers at various levels. So let's say all the developers that have beginner on their profile for JavaScript, we can give them comparisons to say, based on all the other developers that have taken the same questions, same type of challenges, this is how you compare to your peers. So this is truly about building the marketplace and giving the marketplace the skills to develop itself. Now, what are the benefits of Candidly to employers? Well, the first one is that when you create a role on Candidly, we present that role to every developer on our platform through our mobile app that actually has the skills you're looking for. So you don't have to worry about putting a job posting out there and somebody seeing it. If they're on our platform, whether they're actively looking or passively looking, because we've set their job preferences on what they are open to, we know that when we send it to them, they're going to look at it and they're going to get it. Second is that you only engage with developers you're interested in. I am sure everybody on this call and everybody who's ever actually hired in the process would have seen you put a job application or a job posting out there and you get 300-400 applications. And most of them, if not a large portion of them, do not have the skills that they're looking for. They're just applying without actually looking at the roles. And so what we do is we ensure that you're only engaging with developers that have the skills you're looking for and are interested in the role that you're presenting to them. And the third one is we make sure that no capable developer is overlooked. Because we take a very objective approach, we do not use jargon in our algorithms. We do not use terms such as a software engineer between software developer. Everything that we use to match developers is objective terms that are used in every single position. JavaScript is JavaScript, React is React. And that way, when you post a job on our platform, none of the developers that have the skills will be overlooked in the process. Now, this is just a brief introduction to Candidly. At this moment, we are in a closed beta with a few select clients. We have just over 1,500 developers working with us on our platform at the moment while we're in beta, and we're looking to bring it to market to next year. But if you feel like this is a product you want to try, you want to get exposure to, you want to be one of the first to start making use of it, feel free to reach out to us. My details will be at www.candidly.me, and I'm happy to look at whether we're the right fit to help you at your current situation. And that's Candidly. So I think if that's there, we can open it to questions, Adun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, James, for walking us through Candidly in such a short period of time. And I can really see it helping out recruitment teams and talent acquisition. So I'll open the floor to any questions or any comments in the chat or in a Q&A. But James, I'll start off first with the questions. Everyone else warms up as well. So what would you say, like why would someone use Candidly over another recruitment software such as like LinkedIn or Indeed?
Well, the good thing around Canada is we focus on a specific niche, which is software developers. And one of the things that you'll find with LinkedIn, Indeed, and that it really is it's spray and pray. So you put a job posting on LinkedIn or you'll put it on Indeed, and you'll hope that the applications come through. What Candidly is doing is we're actually curating a list or a pool of developers that are adding their skills to their profiles. They're taking challenges. They're adding their resumes, and because that pool is there, you don't have to wait for people to apply. As soon as you put a role into our pool of developers, we're posting it to people who are actually already on there, already actively looking for those type of roles. So we're not waiting on anybody. And as we build the pool grows and grows, and we bring it in for other clients. And once that developer's in the pool, they're available to everyone. So there's no restrictions on developers in our pool.
Yeah, totally. Thanks, James. There's a quick question from someone as well, and I'll show that on stage, which is classic question. Sorry, that's very Canadian of you. How do you envision charging for Candidly?
So one of the things around Candidly is I wanted it to drive the right behaviors. And so we don't work on a commission basis. Right now, what I can tell you is in our beta, we are just working on a 10% placement fee with a small retainer, but ultimately it's going to be a software as a service product. So what you'll do is you'll pay for access to Candidly on a monthly basis, and you'll have unlimited access to developers and that on the platform. You'll be able to hire as many developers as you want, because everything I want to do with Candidly is about creating opportunity. And so we want to make it as accessible to as many recruiters, hiring managers as possible, so the developers on our platform have more opportunity to roles.
Awesome. Hope that answers your question, Evan. You can just let us know in the chat if you have any follow-up. And I guess for sake of time, there's one more question which I'll show on stage. This is from Jeff. So how do you deal with the long-standing problem of developers getting inundated by recruiters? How can Candidly overcome this problem and attract developers?
Well, and that's a great question, Jeff. And I think that's what I alluded to a little bit in my presentation is that when a developer's on Candidly, the platform is completely anonymous. So employers cannot see who the developer is. When they post a role on our platform, the role is posted, we take that role, we present it to developers. Only if the developer is interested and the employer is interested do we release the information, the contact details of that developer. And by developers actually creating their job preferences, and this is the kind of the real turn of developers who apply on certain other platforms to Candidly, is we ask them, what is the job you want? And if they're very clear on what the job they want is, then we're never going to present them with a job that they're not looking for. And those job preferences for us are critical. So we're only going to send you what you're looking for. And I'm going to say very bluntly, some people are looking for a particular culture. So it might be, I only want to look at jobs from social HR because they've got a great culture. So if social HR posts a job and that developer has the skills, we'll send that to them. They may want to say, I only want to consider roles if it's 25% bump in salary. So, that's how we'll match them to roles that come through. They only want to work in Toronto, or they want to move to Vancouver. These are the kind of preferences that they can put in so that we can enable them to only see the jobs they want to see.
Awesome, James. That has answered as well. And I think we're just at time, but I just want to open the floor to just maybe any other questions or comments in the chat, because I know this is a very, very hot talent market, like you said earlier. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody. James, so again, where can people find you if they want to learn more?
If they want to learn more, we just have a landing page up at the moment at www.candidly.me. But we have a booth today if you want to reach out there, or I'm sure Jeff can make my details available to anybody who wants them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I just want to remind everybody that we do have like a networking and trade show moment and at 155 to 225. That's marked off there. So please visit the other booths, sponsors. There's a networking lounge as well, so you can take full advantage of the full social HR camp experience. Thank you again, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, guys.